recently just happened, right? Trump fired on Soleimani, and there was some, you know, there's like a day where we all thought we might be going to war. Like I remember, like this was a week or two ago. I was looking on the news, going, "Oh man, they fired missiles," and you got Trump, who's supposed to be the master negotiator, right? And you think about that, like, is there ego involved in that, or is there something behind the scenes? You don't know. Like, it's just, I don't want to get into a huge political talk, but like, is there, is there something to ego and authority where you're like, hey, we're the big America, like we're gonna shut you down? Like, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Without getting too deep in the political weeds, I will put it to you like this. As a hostage negotiator, my job was to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
SWAT team's job is to solve a problem. We use basically two different sets of tools to solve the problem.
Right.
All right. So it's either talk them out, take them out.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, we're there to solve a problem, which means I may be on the phone having dialogue with the bad guy inside the crisis site. It doesn't mean that if a sniper has an opportunity to neutralize that person, even if I'm on the phone with him, that shot at least has to be considered.
Right.
And so Soleimani was responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of deaths in the Middle East, of Americans and otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And by the same token, when an opportunity like that presents itself, because, I used to get, this is a philosophical conversation I would get into with my team all of the time. When I hear discussions about, well, I had him on the phone, why did we take the action when we did?
Well, you see that in movies, right? Like, oh, you got it. I was on the phone about to get him out,
Yeah, we're always about to get him out. And you know what that is? That's ego.
Right.
Anytime I tell any one of my primary negotiators, hey, it's time to get off the phone, we're going to swap out, put a new negotiator on the phone, or we're going to go get some rest, whatever the case may be.
We're this close.
Yeah, 5 more minutes, boss. 5 more minutes. That's ego telling them 5 more minutes because they're so emotionally invested. So I get into these conversations, or I got into these conversations with them all of the time, in that I don't want to be the one who goes to a family member of a victim of a homicide and say to myself, or should say to them, at 12:15 in the afternoon, we had an opportunity to take this guy out and save your loved one, but the negotiators had him on the phone and were talking to him, so the decision was made to allow him to keep talking.
Right.
And that's why your son, wife, mother, father, daughter are not coming home. Right. Because we failed to exercise it. Because you don't know when you're going to get that opportunity again.
Right.
And with Soleimani, we don't know when we would have gotten that opportunity again.
Right.
And so let's say, for the sake of this discussion, that the decision of the military minds was not to take that shot. And he blows up a mosque next week.
Blood's on the hands.
Yeah.
Very interesting. That stuff is, there's probably so much more that goes in behind the scenes that we don't even know. Right?
Sure.
But I hear what you say, and it's I think, you got to do it. He like the hostage taker was fair game because of what he did, or she did, whoever took the hostages. So if you take them out, they asked for it. I mean, it's right. I mean,
their behavior always dictates the outcome of the event.
Yep.
Always. They are the
probably
ultimate.
Try to not kill, obviously, but when someone puts other lives in danger, it's the officer's job to make sure, right?
Yeah. You gotta weigh all the circumstances and make the best decision, but you can't do it in a vacuum, right? It's got to be something that you consider with other people, but you can never turn your back on an opportunity, because these things are so dynamic, they're so fluid, that that window will close and never be opened again, and then you have to explain why you didn't do something.
Absolutely.